The Honda Pilot was introduced almost exactly 15 years ago. In that period of time, it has done wonders for Honda and its bottom line. In that period of time, however, many new players have been introduced in the large mid-size 3-row crossover segment. The question I will attempt to answer for you today in this following video is whether or not you should still consider it. The 2018 Honda Pilot was introduced for the 2016 model year, effectively the beginning of the third generation of this popular large crossover. I can tell you right now that the 2019 details have already been released and the front end will be revised to look more like the current Honda Accord. I can tell you what I think. It doesn't really need it. It still looks very contemporary, very handsome. So pricing. Base price for a 2018 Pilot LX, $42,500. If you take a quick look at my tester, you'll notice 20-inch wheels, which means this is a $53,900 Touring Edition. What explains the difference in price? Well, the list is fairly long, but some of the elements, LED headlights, twin panoramic sunroofs, or 2 sunroofs, one of them panoramic. Yeah, so physically that's about it. The thing with the Pilot though is that it's functionality over form in every respect. So let's start looking at what makes the Pilot so popular, so big, and so very useful. All right, so the power hatch, always a nice touch. That ahead of you is just over 1,580 liters of trunk space with the third row down. Now, if I just pull on a little thing, strap, lock it in place, behind you'll find just over 520 liters. Either way, that's a lot of space. 2 very useful bins on each end, and my absolute favorite, boom, that absolutely perfect size-wise, depth-wise. I love it. All right, so that's the trunk. So also part of the touring package is this captain seat configuration, which is brilliant. Love this useful space here. May have noticed some footsteps. Yes, my son is having fun crawling in and out of this vehicle. So getting to the third row, boom, easy peasy. Accessing it too, not so bad. However, the seating position isn't terrible. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time with the headrest. You could sit back here. Good storage on either end, plenty of space. Knee room. The only issue is that, well, my legs are very, very bent, so on a long trip it might be a pain in the butt. There's the button again. Boom. You can always tease your siblings with that button if they're sitting in there. But yeah, rear row. So included from the EXL RES to the Touring is the rear entertainment system. The difference with the Touring is that it plays Blu-rays as opposed to just regular DVDs. There is space, there is room, there is storage, there is absolutely everything back here. Kids will love getting on the road. Oh, and I also love these sunshades. Absolutely brilliant, especially in the summer to try and keep the cabin a little bit cool when you're not occupying it. All right, so up front, typical Honda fare, large comfortable seats. I gotta start the truck because I'm melting. All right, so oh yeah, so part of the touring package, cooled seats, yes. Storage, let's just get right to it. I mean, this bin is absolutely brilliant. Cup holders, room there, like dual setup bins in the doors. You can move into this truck, it's unbelievable. Number of controls on the steering wheel, heated function, which I love. Well, not right now. Everything is very straightforward. The screen is nice. Nav, Honda Link, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This thing is fully loaded. Bluetooth as well. There is one thing missing in the 2018, which comes back for 2019, and that is a freaking volume knob. Oh, that is the biggest issue with this whole setup. I mean, the screen is fairly intuitive. actually reasonably quick compared to some of its competition, but the absence of a volume knob, it just drives me completely nuts. Full battery of active and passive safety features, drive modes including Econ, and your button is here. No, that's not your off-road button, but when I depress it, are your drive modes. There's no sport in the Pilot, which I think is brilliant because it's totally useless. Anyhow, so the truck is running. I'm, well, now right back into the sweltering heat, but I'm gonna go enjoy those cooled seats and tell you more about how the 2018 Pilot drives. All right, so before I tell you how the 2018 Honda Pilot drives, I have to open up a rant and say a few words on Honda's shift button control panel thing. No matter how many Hondas with automatic transmissions and Acuras I drive, I just can't get used to it. The controls are simple, but so counterintuitive. Nothing beats an actual shifter. Every time I have to select a button, I have to stop, think, look down. I have a hard time with it. I don't know if it gets any better after hundreds of hours at the wheel of a Honda product, but after dozens and dozens, it doesn't get any better. End of rant. D. Let's go. All right. So, Honda Pilot drives, it's actually really simple. It drives exactly as you would expect a Honda to drive. It's smooth, reasonably comfortable, fairly quiet, and very easy to use, despite its outer dimensions and 2,000 kilograms of weight. Let's start with the controls. Steering, heavily assisted, but perfectly suited for the application. I mean, you need that. Brakes, responsive, decent pedal feel. It can be a little spongy or a little bit slow to react if you're trying to slow down from a higher rate of speed, but usually the problem will be the one behind the wheel. So, next, the transmission. Now, you see, Honda has been doing this for a number of years, whereas the top trims get a special transmission. And the touring trim of the Pilot is no different. 9-speed automatic transmission. All others, EXL, RAS, all the way down to the LX, all get a 6-speed automatic transmission, which is perfectly fine. All Pilots get a 280 horsepower, 3.5 liter V6 that has been around since the dawn of time. That, my friends, is a perfectly perfect engine. It ain't broke, so Honda ain't gonna fix it. It's good. Could use maybe a little bit more torque at lower speeds, but that's where your 4-cylinder turbo engines are kind of coming in and creeping and taking a lot of thunder actually away from V6 crossovers. So the 9-speed, it's responsible, in fact, for knocking the Pilot's reliability rating down because it has been problematic. But not only that, it's just too many gears or not well tuned enough. I mean, getting on the throttle, all right, that wasn't so bad. But I mean, more than often, when I want to get on the throttle and it needs to downshift, it'll drop a gear, maybe a second, and a third, and then we're off. It's the programming is too slow, and all of that is done in the name of fuel consumption. So you would think the 9-speed automatic transmission with the V6 would improve average fuel economy, like average with the 6-speed. It's about 11.3 liters per 100 kilometers. With the 9-speed, 50% more gears, 11 liters. So essentially, the bottom line is, it doesn't make a difference. Essentially, what I'm trying to tell you is, if you can do without the ventilated seats and the 20-inch wheels, get an EXL RAS, avoid the touring altogether, save $5,000 and potential headaches. Having said that, the Pilot is still one of your go-to options if you're in the market for a large mid-size crossover. Myself personally, I mentioned the turbocharged 4-cylinder engines. I'm not saying that the Mazda CX-9 is that much more reliable, but I'm saying it is maybe a lot better on fuel and a little bit more fun in the city. And then there's the all-new Subaru Ascent, which is very brilliant, very quiet, and better on fuel. Something to think about.